TheTexasDeacon here. I promised you this year I would get more political. Well, the Olympics are on and I'm going to do one I'm just calling Russia. And I'm doing this mostly from memory because I went online and tried to find out a few things to touch up my memory, but it's very difficult to do. We're going to start out with the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917, in which where the communists took power. Now, Lenin assumed power at that time, and he executed all his opposition, and we're led to believe, even said on the internet, that they took control of all private property. Now, over the years, I ran across some information that's something slightly different. What I had discovered was that you were not forced into the collective farms. It was a voluntary thing. Although they did pressure you, they did intimidate, they did bully, they did mock, they did ostracize. They did things like getting outside your property with a drum and different people beating it 24 hours a day, and this went on for months. A lot of pressure. But my memory is that like 2 to 3% of the farmers chose not to go into the farm collective. Now, it wasn't too long after the farm collective got started that they realized that these farms were barely supporting themselves. There was just no excess, and that these private farms were the ones that were putting a little on the market. So they come up with a plan that if you were a good communist and didn't cause any problems, you worked hard and toed the party line, they'd give you a plot of land you could farm, and whatever you raised on it was yours to do with what you wanted. You didn't get much land. You got like 1/4 of an acre. And football fields about an acre. And after they did that, a lot of fresh vegetables started showing up on the market. Now, Lenin, I think he died in 1924. Yeah, okay. Lenin claimed ties with Karl Marx, who wrote the Communist Manifesto, of course, and from what I have read over the years, that Lenin actually had some people killed that were around him at that time and could verify where he had any contact at all with Karl Marx. So Karl Marx died in, I think, 1883. And since Lenin did not know Karl Marx, he just had these people killed, so his story was the only one around. Now, Lenin died, I think, in 1924, in which Stalin came into power. And Stalin was in until 1953. Under him, at least 20 million Russians died. And in World War II, they captured a lot of German soldiers, hundreds of thousands, and virtually none escaped their work camps. Let's see where I am right now. In 1953, Nikita Khrushchev took power. Now, that's what I got off the internet, but I thought there was someone between Stalin and Khrushchev for 2, 3, 4 years, but I guess I was wrong. I was using memory. Now, in my high school year, teenage years, Khrushchev was a boogeyman. He was a bad man. He was our threat. He's the one that took his shoe off at the UN and beat it on the table. And he made a statement. And this was one of their 5-year plans. They had about 3 5-year plans. I think they all failed. But one of them, he said about it, economically, we shall bury you. Well, our propaganda force over here left off economically. And we just had Nikita Khrushchev saying, we shall bury you. And the only thing they think of, atom bombs. So they used that to get a lot of support to build up our military, which perhaps was good. Now, when we say communist, socialist, I can't find a difference between the two. There is so little difference. I'm serious. You check them out yourself. If you can show me a significant difference, do it. The best explanation I've ever heard is that a socialist is just a communist dressed up to go to town. Looked better. We'd have a hard time setting communism in this country, but socialism, hey, and that's where we're headed right now. Socialism. And, Arm& Hammer. Arm & Hammer was an American industrialist, and he was friends of Lenin. And why did they tolerate that capitalist? Because they needed him. Had to have him. He could get things they couldn't get any other way. And according to Hammer, that Lenin told him that communism will only stand as long as the West will support it. Well, Ronald Reagan removed his support, and USSR collapsed in 1991. The Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Now, communism is still around, still not accomplishing much, and we are headed, this country, rapidly to communism, socialism, call it what you want to. The first people that came to this country, back in the 1600s, set up a socialist, communist way of life. And after 2 or 3 years, they were about to starve to death. They finally changed it and said, here's your piece of land. If you make yourself a living or starve to death. Within 3 years, they were exporting excess grains to Europe for the things that they needed over here. Over and over, socialism, communism has been proven it does not work at all. And yet we're running as fast to it as we can. There's a few voices out there crying in the night, but even those that realize where we're going and could do something about it, doesn't seem like they want to. I don't understand it. If you can, explain it to me, please. So until next time, I hope that God continues to bless and forgive the United States of America, and continues to bless Republic of Texas, and continues to bless you